Got it back in it. Cody Hooper's in the motherfucking building. Feels like it's been a hot minute since I seen you, my boy. Welcome back to the program. Read between the lines. The boys are going to go off. It's UFC 320. First one since August 16th. What did you do with your time off, my friend?
Nothing productive. I mean, just like worked and dreamed about the UFC coming back or like giving us good fights. I just couldn't be happier to be back. I'm happy the UFC is coming back and got a good fight card this week.
It felt weird. Like, I
It
was like,
did.
God, I haven't talked to my boy for so long. The last one was August 16th. I looked it up 6 weeks ago. We had 4 fight nights and 2 weeks off, but 6 weeks, when you think about it, you're like a month and 2 weeks. Doesn't feel like that long, but that's just how much I missed you, my friend.
It goes both ways, and when you're just as addicted to the UFC as we are, it just feels like forever.
It's good to be back. I'll say that. And we're coming back to a double title fight. We got Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev, the rematch, as well as Merab Dvalishvili going for his third title defense of the year against Cory the Sandman Sandhagen. First time attacking the gold. He's fought before, he's fought for an interim before, but never for the gold belt. And I'm excited about that, as well as a couple other bangers on this card. We got Khalil Rountree taking on Jiri Prochazka. Joe Pyfer's on the card. Patchy mix. We'll talk about him later on the early prelims. I was surprised to see that. Ah, that sucks. But let's dig right into it. Let's dig right the frick into it. We got Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev right now. First of all, I just with time, I feel like I didn't really remember the first fight. I rewatched it earlier in the week, and it kind of flooded back a bunch of memories for me. It was a closer fight than I think I remember it being. Like, actually a controversial decision giving it to Magomed Ankalaev. There's plenty of people, myself included, post-fight that thought Alex Pereira had won it. Not that he dominated in any way, but maybe just stole a round or two. And I think the other narrative around the fight is that the activity was a little low on it. How did you, let's kind of start back and then go forward. Coming into this, what was your takeaways from the first fight, and what are you bringing into the second fight that you think is useful for the rematch?
Yeah, I haven't rewatched it as recently as you, but I did rewatch that fight, and to be honest, it was not a great fight. It kind of sucked, which is definitely not something you're used to seeing from Alex Pereira. Usually, high flying, short fights, from that
Yeah.
guy. So it was definitely a snoozer, which I think favored Ankalaev, obviously. I didn't have it going Poaton's way. I obviously had a fair amount of money on Ankalaev, so I wasn't exactly a fair
You
judge.
dirty dog. You had money on Ankalaev the first time. I don't remember that. I think I
Yeah,
do remember that now, but um damn, you had Ankalaev the first time?
yeah. I had a little three-leg parlay that I put together that made a nice little chunk of change, paid a majority of the rent that month, so that was nice. Um,
Unreal.
But a couple quick things about this fight. So, two things. One, no one has ever beat Alex Pereira twice in his entire fighting career. No one's ever beat him twice. But also, Magomed Ankalaev has never lost to somebody that's beat before. So it's kind of like,
He's
what's
never
gonna?
lost to somebody that he's beat before.
Yeah, he only has
You're
one
saying so
loss.
he's never lost. Yeah. Okay. He's never lost in a rematch. The only person that he lost to was Paul Craig. And I don't think they fought again, did they?
No, they did not. No, no,
I'm going to go
definitely
ahead and
no.
throw that stat directly out the freaking window then. What the fuck was that?
But
He's
no,
never
no,
lost to anybody that he's fought before, but he's also never fought anybody twice that he's fought once.
nope, never happened before.
All right.
But no one's ever beat Alex Pereira twice, which is a wild, wild stat.
That's kickbox including?
Yeah,
Or
no
you're
one's
just
ever
saying
beat
in
him
MMA?
twice,
Huh.
which is crazy. As boring as the first fight was, both of them were striking at a pretty consistent clip. I think they were both around 55%, which is pretty good, all things considered. I think these lines are wild. Minus
I
265 for
agree.
Magomed Ankalaev and plus 215 for Pereira is fucking weird, dude. I mean, that fight was very, very close. It was a contentious decision. Um, I do think this is going to be a much more exciting fight. You can't be happy with yourself if you're Poaton with your performance.
Yeah.
Um, I do. I'm kind of making this decision right now. People forget Alex Pereira is 38 years old.
Yeah.
He's on the wrong side of 35. I still think he knocks out Magomed Ankalaev this time and gets his title back.
Let's freaking go,
Alex
my dog. I
Pereira
needed you
by
on that one.
knockout. I do have it as plus 320. If you do want to take a flyer on decision, that's plus 1200. That was a close decision, but I think he knocks him
Yeah.
out this time.
Yeah, I think I got it at plus 230, minus 285, same, but
Hmm.
still I feel like that line is incredibly wide for how close the first one was. And it's not like, yeah, Magomed had some good moments. I don't really even argue the fact if you're like I thought Magomed won that fight.
Fine, you know.
Sure. Yeah. It was just one of those fights where it's coming down to a round where not a lot happened. So he picked up on all three judges' scorecards. He picked up round three. I thought that was the one that he had won, but I'm not like, holy shit, there's no way in the world I think
Yeah.
Magomed won that round, or didn't win that round. Um, but to be almost a 2-1 favorite, 3-1 favorite at minus 285 seems a little wild. Also, that was Alex Pereira's fourth title fight in the span of a year. So I think the time off is going to help him a little bit, maybe getting his body back right. You're right, he is old. You feel like eventually it's all going to come crumbling down.
Hmm.
But he also did stuff 12 takedowns in that fight, never hit the mat in a fight where he was supposed to be out grappled. This was going to be the one where he just gets taken down and kind of beat up.
Hmm.
So I think that's a real win for Alex Pereira in that sense.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I mean, the obviously Magomed's a very accomplished wrestler and this and that, and just seeing people who know they're going to get wrestled. I mean, just as recently as the DDP fight, he knows Hamzat just started to wrestle him and just didn't wasn't even doing the basics correct, which I was just blowing up your phone. Nothing makes me more fucking pissed off than when somebody
Mm,
can't get hand control. I mean, what are we even talking about? So that was very impressive, and he's only had more time to increase his wrestling ability.
yeah.
And there's a ceiling wrestlers hit. You can only get so fucking good at wrestling before you can't really get any better anymore, especially when you're getting older. And so I definitely see it kind of going similar. And if you get punched by Alex Pereira, you're usually going to sleep. So that's my pick for this fight.
Love that. You got him by KO. I'm just taking the money line plus 230. I like that enough. But I do want to give Magomed some credit. He looked good on the feet.
Hmm.
So as much as Alex looked good in his wrestling defense, Magomed ran with him on the feet. And one of the things that I really kind of noticed rewatching is Alex was attacking that calf as he always does. In the Jan Blachowicz fight, Magomed Ankalaev, his calf was dead. He walked through Alex's career high calf kicks and didn't even limp. So I don't know what he did, if he's kicking poles like Tony Ferguson to strengthen up that calf, but shit, he kind of impressed me in that sense rewatching the fight. So we're both right now, Alex Pereira. I love that
I'm
just
scared
because
now,
that's the
but you know,
no time to be scared. And what is this? Just money. Who gives a shit? The other one is a little bit like what? How do you? I'm going to back up a little bit. This card coming up. I'm trying to figure out a way to word this. Do you feel the hype around this card? I guess is what I'm trying to ask. Do you feel like there's
absolutely not.
real hype? Yeah, I don't
No.
either.
The main event has some would say a high probability of being a snooze fest. Um,
It's kind of a
yeah.
rematch nobody asked for.
Hmm.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
And then Merab Dvalishvili is fighting in the co-main. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
The main event has a high probability of not being that exciting, and the co-main is, I mean, the fight's over. It hasn't started, but the fight's over.
Yeah, I feel like as long as we've been waiting for, to get back on this call on the UFC pay-per-view, like the card itself feels a little underwhelming right at this moment. I'm sure the fights deliver, all things change, but even from like I just feel like I haven't been seeing a ton of juice around this card. Second fight down, Merab Dvalishvili, Cory Sandhagen. I'll admit, I'm a Cory Sandhagen stan. He's the first guy when I started watching the UFC that I really loved watching. COVID time is when I came in and I saw him knock the head off of Frankie Edgar and Edson Barbosa back to back. And I went, holy shit, this is my guy, Cory Sandhagen. So I'm really happy to see him in this position. But he's fighting Merab Dvalishvili, who is an absolute fucking monster. He's on a 13 fight win streak. He has looked pretty unbeatable up to this point. How do you see this fight playing out? I got Merab minus 410, Cory Sandhagen plus 320.
Yeah, I mean the obvious pick is Merab here. It's a difficult fight to make money on. I mean,
Mm.
you have Merab by decision is minus 250. I mean, that's my pick as Merab by decision. But another interesting thing, nobody's ever beat Cory Sandhagen twice either. Cory
Has he had a
Sandhagen's
rematch?
he has had multiple rematches,
I'm trying to
and
think of his rematches.
nobody has ever beat Cory Sandhagen twice. That being said, this is Merab the Machine. If you want to sprinkle some money on Corey KO plus 800, Merab can be hurt to the body if your name's Sean O'Malley. But I just really don't know what you do with this division. I mean, Merab is a machine.
I found this one really easy to get money on because I picked Cory Sandhagen plus 320.
Oh my God.
Easy money, brother. Easy money, brother. It's just and this is definitely a pick with my heart. It's definitely a pick with my heart, but I do think there's some a skill set that Corey has that can cause problems for Merab. I think he's the closest thing to Umar as far as just fully technical. That was I would say Merab's toughest fight up to this point. Like
Mhm.
Deshaun O'Malley's pretty dimensional. You're gonna get him to the ground or you're gonna get your face boxed off. That's
Mhm.
what you have to deal with Sean O'Malley. Corey Sandhagen has shown a level of wrestling throughout his past couple of fights that not a lot of other bantamweight contenders outside of the Umar have shown. And in the case of Umar, Merab had to win three straight. He lost the first and second round on all three judges' scorecards, and then had to, or I think two of the three judges' scorecards, and then had to win two, three, and four. Or sorry, three, four, and five. So he was fighting behind the eight ball. As much of it kind of, he did dominate the back end of the fight. You pick up one round in that, and he lost the title. So I just think Corey Sandhagen offers a unique skill set. I think he's going to be better prepared to uh, work through Merab's wrestling than, say, a Sean O'Malley, even though he is kind of strike first. And he has had fights with Umar or Davison Figueiredo in his last one where, he snapped Davison's knee on the ground. That was where he did most of his work. Most of the fight played out on the ground. And that was takedowns led by, it was honestly shitty takedowns by Davison that Corey took advantage of, got on top, beat him up, and then ended up snapping his knee. Um, but also had a competitive fight, a very competitive fight with Umar, where Umar didn't do a lot of, if any, damage on the ground. Um, just rolled through a bunch of different positions. So I think Corey, among the contenders, is a more difficult battle than a lot of people maybe give him credit for. And he's fought the best of the best. He was the only one calling out Merab when nobody wanted to fight Merab. I remember going to the Cheeto Veras Corey Sandhagen fight in San Antonio, and post fight, Aljamain's still champ. Sean O'Malley's in the division, and you assume that fight was going to get made. Corey Sandhagen was saying, "Give me Merab, give me Umar. I don't give a shit." He's a guy that has just scrapped his way to this position, and I fucking love him. So I picked him plus 320. Give me the fucking boy. You're
I,
lucky I'm not wearing his t-shirt right now. You know I got it on
I
Saturday
don't
night.
I don't hate the logic. I would say Corey Sandhagen is the most well-rounded fighter in this division. He does have the grappling and the jiu-jitsu, and he is obviously a strike first guy still. I don't hate it. I just when I open my eye or when I close my eyes, I just can't even like picture it. So hey, maybe I'm wrong here. I would love to see Merab get knocked off, but it's gonna be a tough test.
Well, I'm out here painting pictures in my mind. It's Corey Sandhagen knee to the motherfucking face, baby. Come on.
Oh, maybe.
Jiri Prochazka, Khalil Rountree. This is where it starts getting real fun because this is just a fun fight. This should be fight of the night right here. If it's not, anytime Jiri Prochazka is in a fight, it's fight of the night. I sent you a video yesterday. I don't know if you watched it. Did you see Yuri training with his nose and mouth plugged? He was
I
running
did.
sprints. I mean, this guy's out of his fucking mind.
I did.
Just
I just didn't know what to
completely
say. I
No,
didn't know what to say. I was like, I don't know how to respond to this.
I sent it to you strictly to bring it up right now because what the fuck is that guy on? He's literally running sprints with his nose and mouth plugged, unable to breathe. I'm not sure what that is. You assume you run sprints, it's going to help you with lung power, but he's just taking his lungs out of it. He's like, this is just pure mental will.
Yeah, fuck. Sure. Yeah, run sprints, don't breathe, I guess. That guy's crazy. I mean, the ninja lifestyle, everything. It's gonna be a very, very interesting fight. I couldn't be more excited for this fight.
We got Jiri Prochazka minus 198, Khalil Rountree plus 164. Do you feel like that line's right? Are you rooting for Yuri here? Do you think he gets it done? Or is Khalil Rountree going to get that plus money done?
Obviously, I do root for Jiri Prochazka, and I'm a new Khalil Rountree fan after that performance, with Poaton. Um, I just don't know if Yuri can get this one done. I mean, these two people don't get knocked out unless you fight Alex Pereira, who knocks out almost everyone. I just think Khalil Roundtree's a more well-rounded fighter. I think he could get the job done, but I think Yuri Prochazka is too unpredictable.
Hey, I knew that was coming.
And I think Yuri Prochazka gets this done. I have him by KO, TKO minus 105.
I'm a fence ride in this one. I took minus 145 over 1.5. Uh, I do think Yuri wins this as well. It was really just trying to find a better line. I think Khalil starts a little slow for my liking. He's a very measured fighter. He hits hard, but he doesn't necessarily hit the gas like a Yuri Prohaska does. So I think the chaos might cause him some problems. Um, but I do think it goes over 1.5 rounds. I think it should be a fun fucking fight, though. Anytime Yuri
It should be.
Prohaska is swinging, it should be a great fight.
It should be. Yuri continues to say he's going to keep his hands up. And I mean, there's definitely a measured increase in hands upness. That's a fucking phrase in his last fight, but I don't know, man. We're probably not gonna be a lot of hands up and definitely a lot of athleticism
There's
from
a
some big dudes.
there's a world where he gets his freaking head clocked too. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, Khalil hits strong and he's pretty precise too. Uh, Speaking of that, light heavyweight, this is the division that is kind of in focus this week. Obviously you got Magomed and Alex fighting at the top of this card. Yuri Prohaska, Khalil Rountree behind them. We just got a big Carlos Olberg win. How do you think this thing kind of shakes out? If do you see this Yuri Prohaska, Khalil Rountree as a number one contender regardless of who wins, or do you think Carlos Olberg slides in, or where's your head at?
Regardless of who wins, I don't see it as a number one contender fight. Well, okay, not regardless of who wins. If Magomed wins, I think whoever wins the Yuri Khalil Rountree fight makes sense for Magomed. I don't really think if Yuri wins, I don't think the Alex Pereira rematch really makes that much sense. The fights don't last long. I mean, Yuri's like scared of the dude, like he called him a fucking wizard or whatever. I
I mean,
mean,
he's got KO'd twice. I wouldn't blame
yeah.
him. He does
Um,
have that black magic. I forgot about Alex's black magic when it
yeah.
comes to Yuri.
I don't know. I mean, we got witches hexes at 125. We got black magic at light heavyweight. People are fucking crazy. I think the Yuri Alex fight is stale. Khalil, maybe. I would love to see somebody else get a shot at it though. If Magomed does lose to Alex Pereira, I would love to see, one of these two guys fight. But if Alex wins, I don't want to see an immediate rematch. I want to see fresh blood.
Yeah, that's kind of where my head's at too. I think Olberg slides in if Alice wins, and I've been on record saying that I freaking love that storyline with the city kickboxing Israel Adesanya and them getting
Hmm.
back at Alex Pereira. I don't know how well it goes, but shit. Uh, who knows? You said it. He's 38, so anything could happen. But I do think if Magomed wins, this probably does turn into a number one contender fight. I think Olberg still could get like a Khalil Rountree or Yuri Prohaska on his resume before a title shot really, really makes sense for him. But it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. I think a statement needs to be made regardless because, you know, Oberg just fucking slept Dominic Reyes 2 weeks ago and slept him
Hmm.
bad. So,
Yeah.
going to be interesting. Josh Emmett, Yusuf Zalal. Josh Emmett This is Yusuf Zalal's first kind of step into real high level competition like Josh Emmett is, but he's also 40, which is a little worrisome for the boy. Yusuf Zalal, his best win on the record right now is probably Calvin Cater in his last one, which was a great performance. He just skated around Calvin Cater, never really got it, never really allowed Cater to get going. But Josh Emmett's 40, which makes me a little worrisome. This is the one that I found hard to bet because I'm betting on Eustace Law and he's almost a 5-1 favorite. So he's minus 470 on my card. Josh Emmett plus 360. I'm taking minus 298 over 2.5 rounds. That's really the only thing I could find that I felt any sort of comfortable with. I don't really know if I see this going. Josh Emmett's a hard guy to put out. This dude walked through fucking Ilya Taporia for 5 rounds. And used to all, I don't know. I don't know about this one. That's where my head's at. I don't know how to bet this one, I should say, but I do think Yusuf Law wins.
Yeah, I definitely think Yusuf wins. What's the Mike Gundy clip? It's like, I'm a man, I'm 40. It's like in the UFC, it's like, brother, get the fuck out. Go home. Like you're 40 fucking years old. Um, yeah, as much as I love Josh Emmett, I mean, he has dynamite in his hands. He's fucking 40 years old. A quick thing for Yusuf. This is his second time in the UFC,
Hmm.
second stint, and he is on a 7 fight win streak. Four of those being in the UFC. My pick is Yusuf by submission. I like all of my
I
picks
thought
make
about
me
that.
nervous. It is plus 450. I'm definitely not going to parlay all these picks because I don't think all of them are going to hit, but 450 was too tantalizing for me to not, think about putting some money on that. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see Josh Emmett win, but I just don't see it, man. 40 is, as somebody who will be 30 in January, 40 is fucking ancient.
Yeah, and and when you do think about Josh Emmett and his kind of big losses, they have been submissions a lot of times, like the Yair fight. But I looked at that line, I just wasn't I wasn't like, fuck, it's definitely going to be a sub win. I don't even hate a sprinkle on Josh Emmett by KO. I mean, if
I
there's
don't
a
hate
route
it.
to victory here, I don't hate a sprinkle on Josh Emmett by KO.
Like, yeah.
But my pick is uses the law. Actually, my pick is over 2.5 rounds. Um, Joe Pyfer, body bags. Joe Pyfer, Philly's own Joe Pyfer, taking on Abus Magomedov. Is that his fucking name? I'm
That's good
blanking right
enough. That's
now.
good enough for me, dog. That's
Oh my God, I
pretty.
don't even have it pulled up.
I think his name is abusive.
It's a Boost. His last name is Magomedov. Yeah, I had it right. I just made
Sounds
myself
great.
nervous.
Yep.
Joe Pyfer
Crushed
getting
it.
a chance back into the top 15. A Boost is there. How do you see this fight going? Is it a body bag sesh? Is a Boost gonna friggin' turn him back? Or what's happening?
People do forget Abus beat the fuck out of Sean Strickland for like 3.5 minutes. They fought, I think that was a year and a half, 2 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, but he absolutely put Sean Strickland in a body bag for about 3.5 minutes and then got knocked out like
Yeah, I
three
was
minutes
waiting for the
later.
back end of that one.
Um, the kid's good. I do worry about his gas tank. That was obviously the issue in the shot with Sean Strickland. I mean, he was beating the absolute brakes off the guy, and then just got knocked the fuck out. Ran out of gas after not even a whole round. Joe Pyfer has really, really big hands. I've had to hear about Joe Pyfer's big ass hands more than probably anybody in the entire world because I'm friends with you. Um,
Oh yeah,
I do have Joe Pyfer here by KO TKO. I had plus 110 on DraftKings.
I
I
got the same
think,
thing.
yeah, I think it's probably going to be a mid second, early third round KO. Joe Piper's hair looks great. Once again, you should call up whoever did
He
his hair.
shaved it. It's
Oh, he
gone.
did?
Gone.
Oh, I missed it.
He's got a shaved head this week.
So how are you going to get hair plugs and then shave your head?
Hey, I thought the same thing, but he did it. Shaved head. Speaking of shaved head, Alex Pereira, I believe, is fighting with hair this week for the first time in his UFC career. How do you think that plays into the fight?
That actually is a huge factor. I mean, he's just going to look so much less like those Easter Island statues with hair.
Let me
I
confirm that.
Oh
But
man.
he's had hair up to this point. I don't know if he's planning on shaving it pre fight day, but up to this point, as of today, hairs on his head.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's going to look less like those statues. Is that going to affect his chin? Is he going to get knocked out? Probably not, but
He's carrying
that's
a little bit more weight on his head. I don't know. That could be a
that's
problem.
fucking. How's that going to work with like the whole head paint headdress thing? Do you got to get like a new headdress if you have hair? I don't fucking know.
I don't think he paints the top of his head, but who's to say? Who's to freaking say, dude? Uh, that is our main card. Was there anything else on the undercard that really enticed you? I got Ateba Gautier. I fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
He's taken on a short notice Treston Vines, who's kind of a local owl. You know, he hasn't really even fought on a big stage, like not even like the UFC, but like a Cage Warriors or an LFA, or
Mhm.
he's I hate to say it because I posted a video about this earlier in the week, and there's Alabama showing up for Treston Vines. I'll say that there's multiple comments on my video like that's my cousin. I trained with him before, all this stuff, and I'm like this guy. I mean, I hope. How crazy would it be if he shocks the world? But we're also talking about Ateba Gautier, who is probably my favorite middleweight prospect right now. Dude is a fucking certified killer, a Francis Ngannou in a 185-pound body. I'm scared for Mr. Treston Vines, but shit, wilder things have happened.
Yeah. Well, isn't aren't everybody in Alabama cousins? Isn't that kind of how it works?
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, yeah, that's a
Right.
good point.
I really hope Patchy Mix loses or like he actually fights. I either want him to lose and not fight in the UFC ever again, or I want him to like actually fight like Patchy Mix. I want one or
This
the other.
is an interesting one because Jacob Wilcox, I did a little research on the boy. I watch, and by research, I mean I watch 1 2 minute highlight tape on
Nice.
YouTube.
Nice.
So I pretty much know him. He's been fighting in KSW, a submission artist. So this should be sub for sub here. If Patchy can't get over this guy, he's either just I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. But this is sub first. I not a single clip in that 2 minute video I watched had this guy striking. So I don't know what his striking looks like. Have not a clue in the world. But he is on a 6 fight win streak. He was fighting in KSW. Four of those fights were the same guy. So,
Shout out
in
KSW.
which he went 2-1-1 with this fella.
Oh, a
Uh,
draw. A draw makes that even better.
So actually, I apologize. He's on a 6 fight win streak. Four of his last 8 fights have been the same guy. Uh, Same shit though.
Same
So
exact shit.
lost, beat him twice, and went to a draw once. But yeah, interesting. If yeah, you got to win this one. If you're Patchy Mix, not only do you have to win this one, but you came into the UFC like you were gonna run shit. You got a tough test. I'll give it to him. Mario Batista, a tough fucking test. He's going to
Mhm.
be fighting Umar coming up here. So he's like in a position to be damn near next in line. If he gets over Umar, that might be who's next for Merab Dvalishvili.
Mhm.
Uh, but this is a debutant coming from KSW. Uh, you got to win this one, especially a guy that's not really known for his hands. 10 submissions on his record, nothing else. Um, you got to win this one. I'm rooting for Patchy Mix here because
Yeah,
I felt bad for him. Like the performance made me feel bad for him.
yeah, I was saying some really mean things, so I'm sure you did feel pretty bad for him. Patchy Mix looked absolutely awful. I hope he fights like the highlights we've seen. I hope he looks like Patchy Mix. If not, I'm sure Conor McGregor is taking applications for bare knuckle.
Bang. Speaking of Conor McGregor, let's get right into it. Apparently, he is signed, sealed, and delivered for the White House card. Uh, did negotiations directly with President Trump, asked for 100 million. I'm not sure how much of that he got, but he is, by his word, signed and official for the House card. It's kind of expected. You know, Dana had not teased, but pretty much said Connor's the guy we want leading the bell there. Assume it's going to be Michael Chandler. Do you think it could be anybody else, or are you just you just in the Michael Chandler boat as well?
I mean, I think Michael Chandler. I think Conor McGregor legally has to fight Michael Chandler if he's going to fight in the UFC again. I thought that was how their contract worked. I don't fucking know. I'm going to believe Conor McGregor is going to fight again in the UFC when I see Conor McGregor walk into the cage and it closes and then the bell rings. Until the bell rings, Conor McGregor's not fighting, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, wrap him in bubble wrap, get him toe guards, whatever the fuck you need to do. I want to see him fight. I think it's actually a terrible matchup for somebody who hasn't been fighting. Michael Chandler kind of has been fighting.
Yeah.
But I would love to see it. I mean, take my money. I mean, I'm gonna pay for it regardless. But yeah,
The
I'm
only
down.
other one I could see is Nate Diaz. That's almost as
Yeah,
fair as you can get just because they've both been out of the octagon,
yeah.
but who knows? And I feel like you need an American headlining that. So Nate Diaz or Michael Chandler. I would feel bad for Michael Chandler if he didn't get it, but it's Nate fucking Diaz. That would be pretty electric, even though he clearly even in his last like four fights, he's barely fighting. Half the time he's just walking around the ring, posting up on the corner, doing whatever the fuck Nate Diaz does. Uh
I don't think you get to lose to Jake Paul in a boxing match and then headline a UFC event. I don't think that's allowed.
that's probably true. That's probably true. Other fights, we got a couple other ones. First of all, last time we talked, Charles Oliveira was still fighting Rafael Fiziev. He is now fighting Mateusz Gamrot. How do you feel about that? You think this is better or worse for Charles in his current position?
Significantly better. I think Fiziev is still a live dog. I mean, he had two very close fights with Justin Gaethje, who still is clearly a top contender at 55. And Gamrot kind of isn't anymore. Kind of seems like Charles is on his way out. This fight is in Brazil, right?
Brazil.
I think that doesn't benefit Charles because I think he has too many people, too many yes men. I think he has too many people fucking rubbing his cock when he's cutting weight, fucking praying over him when he's in the sauna. Listen, I've cut more than my fair share of weight. We don't need 70 people in the sauna. We don't
You're
need
heating it
that.
up. You just
Y-
helping to heat it up. Get it
Yeah, I
hot in there,
mean, I guess
steamy.
it would.
All the
Yeah,
fellas, shirts off, just in
yeah,
a
just
sauna together.
carbs off for the boys, I guess. I
That's
don't know.
brotherhood.
Yeah, for sure. It's weird. I don't like it. Fight the UFC, you don't need to bring 70 people to like fucking watch you fight everywhere you go. Cool, I'm glad he has friends or whatever, but like it's too much. It's gotta be distracting. Nobody else does it. Like there's no way it's like a healthy or a good way to do it. I mean, it has to be incredibly distracting.
That being said, I've been toying around with this week. Do you think a move to welterweight would benefit Charles Oliveira? Because clearly the weight cut is bad.
Yes,
Assuming
I
he
do.
still fights, like say he's going to fight five more times, and that's just what he's going to do.
hmm Yeah, I think that has to benefit him. I don't think he could be the champ at 170. Um, Maybe he could be in the top five. Maybe.
I think there's some interesting fights for him. I mean, you got Islam sitting up there right now, so if you ever want a chance back at that rematch, I think going up to 170 is a better route than holding down 155 and hoping that, Islam comes back down and then beats Ilya or just comes back
Yeah.
down for sure. I think the Sean Brady matchup would be fun. I even think I don't think they're going to do it, but stick him in there with Ian Gary. Ian Gary's been training at shoot the box. Fuck it. Let's go friends to foe. Let's really
Oh
fucking get this thing
man.
kicked off.
There'd be 140 people in one sauna. They'd have to have the world's largest sauna. There's all the people in there. It'd be at 300 degrees. They would die. There would be too many people in the sauna.
Yeah, so that's a fun one. We also got Armin Sarukian versus Dan Hooker and announced yesterday.
hmm
Surprised? Figured? Where's your head at on that fight?
I feel like we've talked about this quite a bit. I kind of figured. Dana doesn't like Armin. He's made that pretty clear. Armin wasn't getting another title shot like right away. I love this fight. Dan Hooker is going to make this fight exciting, even if he's getting his ass whooped. I love that. Um, I think it makes 55 interesting for what you do with the title. I've been standing on the soapbox for Justin Gaethje saying he deserves the next title shot. I mean, I've been screaming it from the fucking hilltops. Nobody needs to hear that anymore. I love that fight. I think it's going to be very interesting. There's going to be blood, and Armin's kind of a posh bitch, so we'll see.
Damn, boy. Damn. Yeah, I think it makes I think it just it leaves me with questions about what happens with a Paddy Pimblett and a Justin Gaethje. Are those two going to fight, or are one of them going to get the title and then the other one? Max Holloway's still sitting there too, so I think that I didn't really figure him into the mix until just recently, but I he's now a 155er. All things point to. So uh, I just don't know how it's going to play out on the back end, but I'm glad we at least got that piece of it. The other one was Bilal versus Ian Gary. I didn't see this one coming. I figured they were going to do Sean Brady, Ian Gary. Not the case. He got Bilal. Good matchup, bad matchup for Ian Gary.
Uh, Bad matchup for Ian Gary. Good for Bilal because Ian Gary can defend some wrestling. Bilal gets to show off his hands a little bit. I think this is a bad matchup for Ian Gary, though. I mean, I'm gonna say Bilal's a better wrestler than Shavkat. I don't know if that's true. I'm gonna say it is. Just from his wrestling dominance, and he doesn't, basically all he really does is wrestle. Um, I like the fight though. I did you see Bilal said he asked for McGregor?
Yeah, that was funny.
I would love that. I would love that. That'd be awesome. But I think it's a tough matchup for Ian Gary. But Bilal's also gonna have to bring the hands because Ian Gary is long and lanky and will knock you the fuck out.
Yeah, that's kind of my big thing is like he's so big. Like Ian Gary is a big fucking dude in comparison to Bilal. So I just think that length might be a problem for him. And then also even just in grappling exchanges, having those long, lengthy limbs could cause problems for Bilal. But we will find out. Another big fight this weekend. I don't know if you have paid any attention to it at all. Paul Hughes versus Usman Nurmagomedov going down at PFL. Paul Hughes versus Umar 2. Did you
Oh,
watch the first one?
I did not.
A banger.
A banger.
Big news,
Okay.
Paul Hughes. Do you know about big news?
I do not. I'm not that familiar with Paul Hughes' game. I gotta be honest. I wasn't ready for you to drop Paul Hughes in here.
Hey, I figured this one would probably go nowhere, but I had to throw it in there just because the first one was really fun. Another Irish fighter, speaking about Ian Gary and Conor McGregor, another Irish fighter and a bad motherfucker. The first fight with Usman Nurmagomedov was he lost it very close. Showed off some hella wrestling skills, good switches. He's got nasty hands. Um, but you're still fighting the Umar or Usman. God damn it. Get some further, make some names that are a little bit different, dude. First, we got freaking Abus Magomedov. Now we got Umar Usman, fucking everybody under the sun. Ankalaev. I saw a
And
guy, there's another guy in the PFL, Magomed Magomedov. Switch it up, dog.
get the
What are we
fuck
doing
out
here?
of here.
It's hard to
That's
keep up.
awesome. That's awesome. Hey, our PFL representative over here, Bradley Gleason. Who would have guessed? Oh
Oh,
man, that's
just a banger.
incredible.
That's really the only. I only watch PFL twice a year, and it's when Dakota Ditcheva is fighting and Paul Hughes are fighting. But you heard it here first. I'm rooting for big news, Paul Hughes. Let's freaking get this thing done, and then get the
Shout
boy
out.
over to the freaking bright side. And by that, I mean the UF freaking C. Even though I think he signed a big long fat contract as well as Dakota, so we're fucked. But I would like to see them both over here.
That'd be awesome.
That is our time, my friend. We have less than a minute. Who knows when it's going to cut off? But glad to fucking see you, man. What a pleasure it is to be back. And we got a 2 pay-per-view month, so I'll be seeing you again for Tom Aspinall making his first heavyweight title defense.